Hello everyone. This video will mainly be for the Q&A, but I also have a few announcements to make. If you don't care about those announcements and want to skip them, that's totally fine. You can just go to this timestamp for the Q&A. It's only really 3 announcements. They're not that big. First off, I want to be clear this video is not a replacement for my usual Saturday essay video. All it means is that my usual essay that would come out today is actually going to be coming out tomorrow or early into the coming week, depending on how long it takes me to finish editing. And that video, if you don't already know, I've been talking about it here and there on the Discord and on Twitter. I'm going to be covering the first 3 volumes of RWBY, so look forward to that. For the coming weeks and my upload schedule, my next video will be me talking about the winter season and what animes I liked and didn't like from it, just my general thoughts on them. In terms of what specific anime I'll be covering in that video, I'll be talking about Wonder Egg Priority, Mushoku Tensei, bottom tier character Tomozaki, Horimiya, Urusekai Picnic, Higurashi When They Cry, So I'm a Spider So What, and Suppose a Kid from the Last Dungeon Boonies moved to a starter town. Okay, final announcement. I'm going to be live streaming more. I have a long backlog of games I need to get through, and possibly ones that I want to cover in videos. So if you'd like to join me on playing through these games, you can follow my Twitch. I'll leave a link in the description, and I might occasionally stream more on YouTube. To start off, I just want to say thank you. We've reached 500 subscribers, and when I started, I never even thought about where I was going. I'm just some random college student who's really passionate about anime, and I started to put those passions into YouTube videos. To me, that's not just a number, that's 500 individual people who watched some of my content and decided they enjoyed it enough that they wanted to see more. I'd like to shout out one of my friends here, Otaku Dreams, who's also part of the AniTuber community, because he once tweeted something that really resonated with me. He has this philosophy when it comes to YouTube that I really, really admire. The tweet was, "No matter how large this number becomes, remember that I'll always be Otaku Dreams. I'm glad to have you all as friends, and I can't wait to make more." That says so much in so few words. Friends. And as far as I'm concerned, all of you are my friends. You're not subscribers. You're not any different from me. I'm just some random dude who likes anime. And we all share those interests. So as far as I'm concerned, we are friends. I cannot express my gratitude enough for your support. We've experienced a crazy amount of growth over the past few months, and I'm really just speechless. It's just baffling to me. So all I can really say is thank you. Thank you so much. As kind of a special video in celebration, I guess, I wanted to do a Q&A where you guys could ask me anything, and I would answer it in this video. Without further ado, I guess let's get into it. Starting off with the first question, that also happens to be from Otaku Dreams. Mega congrats on 500, my friend. Your content is way too clean to still be as underrated as you are. Thank you, it means a lot. This may be a bit of a basic one, but what made you pick up YouTube / where does your inspiration come from? I started YouTube like years ago when I was way younger. I would just make gameplay videos and just kind of just record myself playing games, just put it out there. And it was mostly just like my friends who would watch them. I didn't really do it for any reason except for the fact that I've always admired people who did YouTube. And then one day I came across a YouTube channel called Hiding in Public. If you don't already know, he is like my biggest inspiration. His channel opened me up to a whole new world of YouTube. It was a whole nother side of the site that I had never seen before. Video essays were so intriguing to me. Then one day, my good friend Dave tweeted that he was going to start making video essays, so I figured why not. I was spending a lot of time in high school writing essays, analyzing literature, poetry, etc. And I kind of thought, what if I were to just write essays about something I really like? But then I thought, well, what's the point in that? No one's gonna read that. When Dave tweeted that, I was like, why not? It was a perfect way for me to do what I love, writing, talking about my passions, and share them with the world. So I sat down and wrote my first essay, and I had so much fun doing it that I started making them on a regular basis. This next question comes from Seth the Sin, who is also an AniTuber like Otaku Dreams, and I'll link both their channels in the description. Definitely check them out. Really good channels. Anyway, he brought 2 questions. The first was, you a tea person or a coffee person? Quite honestly, I'm really not either. Like, if I had to pick, it would be tea. Just because I just don't think coffee tastes good. The only reason I would ever drink coffee is because I was addicted to caffeine, which I'm not, even though I am a college student. And tea, I like it, I just don't drink it regularly, so I don't know. I guess tea, yeah. His second question is, who are your favorite creators to watch on the platform, anime or not? Well, I already mentioned my favorite AniTuber, Hiding in Public, just because, you know, he's my inspiration. But I also watch a variation of other YouTube videos. I think my favorite kind of video is probably like mini documentaries and things like that, especially about alternate reality games and like horror and online mysteries and kind of stuff like that. So probably my favorite YouTuber would be kind of a tie between Inside a Mind and Nexpo. YouTubers like that I really enjoy. Alright, on to the next set of questions, which are all from Discord. If you want to join the Discord server, the link will be in the description. First, Indigalo asks, is soup a type of cereal? That's a hard question to answer. Personally, I would not consider cereal soup because I eat my cereal dry. I don't drink it with milk, mainly because I'm lactose intolerant, and I certainly don't eat my cereal with water. I feel like if you eat your cereal with milk, it could probably be considered soup, but I'm not 100% sure on that. Great question, by the way, thank you. The next question comes from Gaj03, sorry if I mispronounced that. Congrats Cider on 500, thank you. What are your ambitions for the channel? I don't have any particular ambitions for the channel, just some really general ones, I guess. I do really want to flesh out my style and increase the production value of my videos, so I want to spend more time with them and learn a lot more editing and things like that, and just get better at making videos. So I'm really looking to the summer to be my ample opportunity to do that. Other than that, I would of course love to see the channel grow. My current goal, really loose goal, is that we hit 1,000 by the end of the year. But honestly, that's not a huge deal for me if that doesn't happen. It's more of, I really want to make the best content I can for you guys. The next question comes from Alphaville. Congrats to the 500 subs, thank you. How much research do you put into the videos, and what is the video you are most proud of? To answer the first question, it really varies. I think the most amount of research I've ever done was on my Genshin video. I lost count of how many hours I spent researching for that video, because it was kind of over several days. I would just spend time on it as I was working up to outlining and scripting it. To answer your question, I am sorry, but I'm gonna have to give you a really vague range, varying from 3 hours of research for a video to 10 hours to maybe even 15, because I really don't know how much time I spent on that Genshin video. To answer the second question, what video am I most proud of? That depends too, because if we're talking about narration, I could definitely say that my Your Name video is probably my favorite. But if we're talking about editing, then probably my Genshin video. I'd say if I had to pick one, it would probably be my Genshin video, just because I spent so much time on that and I was so ambitious with it. and it came out exactly as I had hoped. It was just so much fun to do, and it was also stressful. It was a lot of work, but it came out in the end exactly how I wanted it. So I'm, probably most proud of that video. The next few questions come from my man Alceda. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. Alright, time to get some more personal ones in here. Oh boy. What are your life goals? They can be loose ones. And what sort of things do you value and see yourself doing in long term? Life goals, these are going to probably be pretty vague and loose. I guess I just want to graduate without a hitch. I want to get a job, and I guess my dream job would be to work at Sega or Atlas in California, but things may change. I'm totally open to things changing. Alright, so next question. How often do you feel gratitude and take notice of things you're really glad to have in life? Do you think of how some other people may not be able to experience those things as consistently, and imagine what it might be like to be them? I'm an introvert, so any kind of social interaction makes me feel tired. It takes my energy away. It doesn't give me any energy. It doesn't matter how fun it may be to interact with those people, it still fatigues me. But I still love being in crowds, and that's because one of my favorite things to do is look at someone and just imagine what their life is like, what their problems are, all of their struggles, their personal lives, and just imagine the possibilities. And you can really learn a lot about a person just by focusing on minute details of what they're wearing, what they have on them, their mannerisms, without even speaking to them. And that's a really fascinating thing to me. So I really like imagining what other people's lives are like. And in doing so, I often realize how much luckier I might be than someone else, how many more opportunities I have than someone else. And I strive never to be overly prideful of those kinds of things that I didn't really earn. The final question from him is, do you have any irrational things you stress about when they come up, and what do you do in response? Yes, I am human, so I have things that stress me out that I would think are irrational. The biggest thing, probably what I said, social interaction. I can't exactly explain it in simple terms. I have a lot on my mind when I'm talking to somebody, especially someone new that I'm not really comfortable around. And with all those things on my mind, it just puts a lot of stress on me. So it takes a lot of energy to talk to people. I'm just usually trying to learn more about people without actually learning it from what they say and more of what they do, how they talk, picking up pieces other than what they're talking about. In response, well, after a long day of social interaction, I sleep. I spend time alone. I go do something alone. And it is the best thing for me personally to unwind and let that stress relieve itself, basically. The next question comes from Kiwi84, my good friend. He says, a runaway trolley car is careening down a track. 5 people stand in its path, unaware of the imminent threat. You stand at the intersection of 2 different tracks and could, if you chose to, divert the trolley onto another track where only one person would be killed. Do you divert the trolley, intentionally killing 1 to save 5? What is your answer and why? Well, I'd be a shonen protagonist and defy reality to save them all. Just kidding. I really think if I was in a situation like that, knowing myself and how indecisive and hesitant I am, I wouldn't do anything, because I'd like to say I'd have the courage to make a decision to flip the lever, but I really don't think I would. And the final questions come from Lynxes, also my good friend. The first question is, what's your favorite animal? My favorite animal is probably tigers. I really like the cat family. Other than that, I also really like bears. Bears are really cool. So like a polar bear is probably my favorite. And if we're including extinct animals, then a saber-toothed tiger would definitely be my favorite. And the second question is, if you could only eat one food for the rest of your life, what would it be? That is a really tough question. If I had to pick one food to eat for the rest of my life, it would probably be some kind of seafood. Either scallops, lobster, crab, or shrimp. And I think I'd most likely go with scallops. No. I think I'd most likely go with lobster over those all, but it's a really hard decision to make. So yeah, that was all of the questions. I hope you guys enjoyed. Again, don't forget to check out Otaku Dreams and Set the Sin. They're both very good AniTubers. I highly recommend checking out their channels. That's all I have for this video. Once again, thank you so very much for 500 subscribers, or as Otaku Dreams would say, 500 friends. And I'll see you all tomorrow when I upload my next video.